Hi, it's Rich from Planet PE here. Just want to look at the extended question, which is the final question in the GCSE PE exam. They're marked out of 6, and typically they're the difference between our students doing well or it might affect their grade towards the end. So if you have a look at these next 2 slides in relation to the following question. So this was one from a few years ago. And it said that Ishan is inspired by performers in the run-up to the London 2012 Olympics and Paralympic Games and is determined to improve his performance. He decides to set SMART goals as a first step to achieving his long-term goal. Now it all starts with a scenario like that. It then asks you to discuss the use of target setting to improve performance, and you must make reference to examples in your answer. Now, in these questions we have different levels of answer, and we're just going to look at that as we go through so you can have an understanding of what you should be looking for in the questions yourself, or as a teacher maybe what we're maybe missing, or that we're doing very well ourselves. So here's an example. So straight away this student has started looking at SMART goals and started to give them an idea of what they're going to be talking about. So they've said that their specificity, which isn't correct because it would be a specific goal. They're measurable, achievable, realistic and time bound. So this student said the use of target setting to improve performance because, like Ishan, he has used the SMART target because he has chosen a specific sport that he would like to do. So that he thinks he would like to do. He's used measurable targets. Now straight away that's becoming difficult to read because as he's gone through there's not very much punctuation there. And it kind of runs into one another, and straight away as they've kind of put up here they've used a term that is incorrect. So it'd be interesting to see kind of what the examiner said. So here's a slightly different one. So this student here has said sensible, measure, achievable, realistic and time bound. So again, there's errors in there, but it's although there's an error in here, later on we can see that they're talking about it being specific rather than sensible. So again, it's interesting to sort of see what our students actually write when they do it. So if we just go back to that first question. Okay, so this candidate clearly knows most of the aspects of the principles of target setting and identifies 4 of them clearly. However, the question does ask for a discussion of the use of target setting rather than just describing or outlining the SMART principle. So therefore, whilst indicating some knowledge, this is what we call a level 1 response. Now, a level 1 response means that you're only going to get 1 or 2 marks out of 6. And that's because there's errors in there. And not only are there errors in what they're actually talking about, there are errors in their written communication. So it's really important that when we're doing the 6-mark questions or when we're marking it as teachers, that we're really looking at how well our students are writing. Because if the written communication is difficult to follow, then that affects the quality of the answer as well. If we look at this one, they're talking about this as being an extract of a level 3 response. So this is directly from an exam report a few years ago. So this says it's an extract from a level 3 response, so that's indicating it's 5 or 6 out of 6. The candidate develops their arguments in line with the demands of the question. So they've discussed the use of target setting and has done that in a manner that is using good written communication. The response is balanced. It discusses SMART principles, provides examples and discusses how these principles can be improved in sport. So for example, in the second line by the candidate, they explain what SMART target, so that SMART targets are required by knowing when you have reached your target. This will help planning for the next goal and provides motivation or reward for achieving it. So if I just take that out, you might be able to read it. So just a real quick thing there. So they say this is a level 3 response and this one here is a level 1 response. And that's just as an extract, but you get an idea straight away of the sort of things that we should be looking at. Again, very brief sort of little one there. There'll be a few more coming out as we go through, but if you want to comment below, feel free. And again, find us on Twitter at planet_PE.